The term front-end development might seem daunting at first. However, it is very easy to understand. Firstly, you should know that back-end development is the opposite of front-end. Back-end is usually associated with languages like Python and is used to establish the functionality of a website. However, the look of the website is made with front-end development programs. Front-end development is a combination of HTML, CSS, and JS, along with a load of other programs such as Bootstrap, Node.js, GitHub, React, and more. However, the three main languages, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, are really what you need to know as a front-end developer. But what are these programs about, and why do front-end developers need them? Imagine the YouTube screen you are looking at right now. All the containers, like the rectangular container in which this video is playing, is a product of HTML code. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML makes the structure of the page like a skeleton that will be styled with CSS. For example, the HTML code is telling your computer to display the video in this container. HTML code is written in the following format or syntax: P, paragraph here, /P. The command, for example paragraph, is put into these brackets and ends with the same format, but with a / with text for your paragraph in between. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it comes into play in sizing and styling these HTML structures. For example, CSS styled the video container so it is rectangularly displayed, bigger than the recommended videos displayed on the site. CSS can also be used to style text, change fonts, create shapes and color, etc. CSS code is written in the following format or syntax. CSS goes hand in hand with HTML. For example, the paragraph section that we made in HTML can be modified with CSS. The first step is to identify which tag you are trying to style. The tag, for example, paragraph or P, is first put into these brackets and ends with the same format, but with a / with text for your paragraph in between. Once we identified that tag as P for paragraph, then, with an open and closed curly bracket, we can then go on to change things like font text size and its position on the page, etc. Each style made starts with a command inside the curly brackets, such as font size, which is followed by a colon. The specific style, like 2px, pixel, is then ended with a semicolon. JS stands for JavaScript, and it is useful because it is what actually plays the video. Pausing and playing the video is a good example of JS implementing behavior on the site. JavaScript usually entails functions, logic, if-else statements, and variables, stores information. You might be wondering why JavaScript is considered a front-end program when it can establish logic and store some information. JavaScript was originally used to create some animation or responsiveness on a website. However, more recently, developers started using JavaScript as not only a tool to make a website more responsive, but to also have more functionality added to the website without having to use and learn other languages like Python. Thus, JavaScript, although associated with front-end development, it can also be used for some back-end functionalities. Although these programs differ in how they are written and its functionality, all three of these programs come together to create websites you use every day. While these programs are enough for developers to create websites, apps, and softwares, etc., some other programs like Bootstrap, Node.js, and GitHub help the developers. For example, Bootstrap is essentially a library of code, so developers can have elements of their applications already written out for them. Another example is GitHub, which allows developers in a group a workspace to collaborate their code for their app in one place. However, all these things have one thing in common. They are meant to be used for the development of not only front-end web apps, but also apps that have extensive back-end. Without these programs, developers would have a harder time making applications. There are many other topics, such as APIs, databases, and methodologies left to cover. Like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments if you want more explainer videos on front-end development topics.